What's going on, guys? So I recently picked up the Dino Showdown Pachyrhinosaurus off eBay for dirt cheap, about $15. And I'm really excited to finally have it because it's really a difficult thing to find. And I noticed that the listing mentioned that it did not have its dino damage piece. And that is not a problem because today I'm going to show you guys how to make this dino damage piece from scratch. No mold making, no casting, with things that you can get right off of Amazon. So first, what you're going to need is some epoxy sculpt. Now this is what I like to use. Of course, you can use Milliput or anything that you have access to, but epoxy sculpt is nice because it gives you a long working time to sculpt all the details without it hardening too fast. And you want to grab some plastic wrap from the kitchen and a sculpting tool or a toothpick to sculpt the details. But that is pretty much all you're going to need. So what you want to do first is get your plastic wrap out, and you want to tear off a little section of that plastic wrap, and you want to wrap it around the body of the dino relatively tight. You don't want it to be loose because you want to make sure that it doesn't slide around while you're sculpting it. So wrap it all the way around, and what this is going to do is it's going to help you get the piece out after it's cured, and it's not going to adhere to the plastic on the inside. So then you get your 2-part epoxy putty and you'll squish it down into the hole, get it the right shape, and then you're going to take your sculpting tool or a toothpick, whatever you got, and you want to try to mimic the scaling detail on the body the best that you can to try to make it look similar to the scales that are around it. And this is just one of those things that, like, I'm not really great at sculpting. I can kind of fake it till I make it kind of thing. So those of you who are really good at sculpting, this should be no problem to you. But I'm really just trying to mimic the lines and the pebbles and stuff like that on the skin the best that I can. So this is what I have come up with, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, especially given my skill level. But I'm going to let this stuff harden inside the slot. It takes about 3 to 4 hours for it to cure rock solid, and then I can go ahead and take the cellophane off. And you can see here the part is hardened, and it fits perfectly in the dino damage slot, and very seamless, looks beautiful. So now we're gonna have to paint it, and unfortunately I don't know what this color is, so we're gonna have to start mixing colors together to try and match this to the best of our abilities. And it's not going to be super perfect, but it really just needs to sort of blend in. It's going to sit on a shelf, so it's not doesn't have to be exact match. But the colors that this looks like to me, it's a brown, but it's got some red undertones in it. So I've got a couple of browns here that I thought would be good colors to mix. And the chestnut has a nice warm orange base to it, so I think that's going to be the best brown to sort of play off of. So I'm going to take the chestnut, and I'm actually going to mix it with some red paint, a little bit at a time on my wet palette, and I'm going to just start painting the piece. And as I see, like, it's too brown, so I need to add a little bit more red to it. So just kind of play around with the colors until it looks right. And this right here is looking pretty decent. It's got a nice brown red tone to it, and of course I got to dry the paint in order to get the true color to come out, because when it's wet like that it sticks out a lot. But this right here looks good to me, and it blends right into the dinosaur, and it saves you from having to go and search eBay forever to try to find that expensive dino damage piece. And the great thing about this is the technique will work on any of the old Kenner dinosaurs that are missing their dino damage pieces that you want to complete. So I will be covering each and every one of those figures in future videos, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, for more Jurassic Park related content, you know where to find me. Links will be in the description box below. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next video.